Hello everybody, so today I am going to try to fix an issue I'm having with this amplifier. Namely, it is my reverb pedal. Now this is a Vox AC. Mainly it is the reverb portion of this amp. Now it has a spring reverb inside. This is a Vox AC15 TV model. And basically I am going to open up the back of it with my trusty drill and mess around with it until the reverb comes back on. A quick example of what I mean by the reverb not actually working is as follows. Now, as you can see, I have the reverb turned all the way up, which ordinarily would be like an ocean. It's rather weak. So basically I'm going to just open this amp up and mess with the insides until that reverb becomes nice and strong once again, rather than the... I can barely tell it's on, honestly. That's it without it. Full reverb. Not a huge difference. Anyway, let's get started. Alright, so in most amplifiers, the reverb portion is actually going to be under here. For all Vox AC15 type of models, essentially all we got to do is take off this panel, and then we will have access to the reverb box. Now, if you're uncomfortable, I would highly suggest turning off and even unplugging your amp. However, I am going to leave it plugged in, and I am probably going to be turning it on and messing with it throughout, just to see when I actually get the reverb back on. But basically, you can use any power tool, or if you really prefer, you can use a regular drill. And just unscrew all of these little bolts. I'm just going to fast forward past this part. Be right back. Okay, so all of the screws have been removed, and now we can just carefully take off this back plate. At which point, we can see the reverb box right down here. I will bring us in a little closer, just so we can see. Now, these are our inputs. From what I have read online, for whatever reason, the Vox AC15 did not use very good connectors when they were making their reverb boxes. Because of that, it'll often go out and not sound as good as it should. Just kind of plug in a guitar here, for example, while the tubes warm up. Once again, reverb all the way off, reverb all the way on. If we mess with the bottom of the box here, we could actually hear the springs when we jangle them. Still, not a huge difference. When I turn the reverb all the way down, you can't even hear it. Turn it all the way up, and we mess with the springs. Starting to get a little more sound. But it's still not quite as strong as a reverb should be. Especially when we have it all the way up. Alright, so next portion. I'm actually going to try to take out this little box here so I can look inside of it and see if we have anything loose. Honestly, from what I've read online, a lot of the time if you just open up these amps, mess with the reverb boxes, mess with the springs, plug everything out, plug it back in, suddenly it'll start to work. Here's the actual sound for it. Alright, one more sec. Alright, so I have removed all of these screws. We are now able to actually physically pull out our box. Our reverb box, our springs. If you've ever wondered how a spring reverb works, here you go. Essentially, these springs will vibrate when you're playing, and that creates the sound, that wop 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 sound. Now, I am no expert on these electronics, but essentially I'm just going to make sure everything is plugged in the way I need it to. That is not the button I want to press. Hold on. Rotate? Never mind. I'm just going to make extra sure that these are pushed in all the way, that there aren't any weird loose things going on here. Now I'm going to turn the amp back on in hopes that I don't get electrocuted. We will wait and mess around with it. Did you hear that?
What?
The reverb's already back. Way louder. For whatever reason, just taking this out, double checking the actual springs, jiggling them around. This is the exact same level of reverb I had before, and it is much, much stronger than it was a second ago. So, there you have it. Alright, next I'm going to go ahead and put the reverb back in. As you can tell, it's much stronger now. It's working like a reverb should. And all those fun surf tones are coming out. So I'm going to take a little time to screw this back in. I'll leave the camera running just in case you guys want to see how it is. Now that I know the reverb is working, I'm going to turn off the amp. I'll turn it back on after I'm done putting everything back together. But yeah, that's fun. Fun facts about tube amps and amps in general. These little tubes right here, you can actually see them. They light up when you have it on. You can see them slowly turning red, which I think is just awesome. That's the beauty of tube amps. Or valve amplifiers for all my followers or friends in the UK. Which is cool. Basically, you don't want to touch those. They get very hot. You can see them turning red and lighting up. That's just the beauty of these pieces of equipment. Anyway, all right. So the amp is now closed back off again. Once I have the tubes warm up, we will see how it's sounding. Now, please note the reverb is once again all the way up. Already, that is so much better. Or like... Or at a manageable level. So much stronger. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to be playing with this for a little while. I love it when it actually sounds the way it's supposed to. Anyway, this is a Vox AC15. That was the reverb in the back we fixed. Thank you for joining me. Have a good day. Please be sure to like and subscribe and all of that. I do little projects. I do songs. If you have any requests or anything you'd like me to try to figure out, please let me know. Bye-bye.